Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with my second 2021 movie review for this weekend. Because there were two new blockbusters that came out this weekend. I reviewed the first one that came out last night called Quiet Place Part 2. And then now I'm going to review the other one that came out this weekend, which was yet another live-action Disney adaptation. And this is for none other than Disney's Cruella. Now, for those of you that obviously do know, I don't like these live-action Disney remakes. No. Especially, I didn't like the two I didn't like the two garbage Alice in Wonderland movies. Wasn't a big fan of Maleficent, sorry guys. Didn't like Cinderella either. Yeah, I didn't like that one either. Haven't seen Pete's Dragon. Didn't really like the original Pete's Dragon either. However, the only Disney remake I've really liked was The Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau. That was actually a really good remake. That's probably the best of the Disney remakes. Easily. However, the rest after that, like Beauty and the Beast, Dumbo, Aladdin, The Lion King, and dare I even say it, Mulan, or as I call it, Mulan Gone Woke. I hated all those. Although the two worst ones definitely have to be Mulan and The Lion King. Those are probably the two I find the worst Disney remakes. However, now on to this. So yeah, since I don't like these live-action Disney remakes, I had very low positive thoughts about this movie. But I decided to review it anyway because, well, I do like 101 Dalmatians. That's one of the few underrated animated Disney films of all time, and I do actually kind of do like the two live-action movies, the 1996 and 2001 with Glenn Close's Cruella de Vil. Those are kind of underrated guilty pleasures. Yeah, I kind of like those two films. They're kind of childhood guilty pleasures of mine, but I thought Glenn Close was perfect in the role of Cruella de Vil. But on to this movie. So, just finished watching the movie, and I gotta say, I was in for a real surprise. Yes, I actually, for a live-action Disney adaptation, I enjoyed Cruella. Loved it. Because, it's a really fun, dark movie. Did not expect this coming from Disney. Really loved it. Loved it. Emma Stone was such a show stealer as the character of Cruella de Vil. And I gotta say, I think Disney's finally starting to redeem themselves after a few years of bad movies. Yeah, but I'll say what this movie's about. Well, before she becomes Cruella de Vil, teenage Estella has a dream. She wishes to become a fashion designer, having been gifted with talent, innovation, and ambition all in equal measures. But life seems intent on making sure her dreams never come true. Having wound up penniless and orphaned in London at 12, 4 years later, Estella runs wild through the city streets with her two best friends, Jasper and Horace, who are also known as her partners in petty crime. And they're still the two amateur thieves in this movie, like they were in the 1996 movie and the animated movie. When a chance encounter vaults Estella into the world of the young, rich, and famous, however, she begins to question the existence she's built for herself in London, and wonders whether she might indeed be destined for more after all. When an up-and-coming rock star commissions Estella to design him a signature piece, she begins to feel as though she has truly arrived. But what is the cost of keeping up with the fast crowd? And is it a price Estella is willing to pay? Yeah, that's what the movie is about. I really love that. Now like I've said before, since the start of these Disney live-action remakes, audiences have been divided how to feel and what to expect from the films. Some wish for a copy-paste version of the same story, like The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, among those, and Aladdin. Others desire a completely different take on the well-known narrative, like Maleficent, and this movie, and The Jungle Book. However, the best experience and the primary goal of these movies is a mix of both. A version that keeps the essence and message of the original while bringing something new and different to the table to justify its existence. what I really loved about this movie is that Cruella wasn't just a shot-for-shot remake of the 101 Dalmatians film, but it was an original story based on the classic Disney villain of the film. And easily, and probably the second best Disney movie this year. For now, anyways. This did not. Like, besides Cruella's greedy necessities, purely evil personality, extreme vanity, this wicked character was driven by something completely unthinkable. Like, this Cruella's this psychotic, heartless character that skins short-haired puppies to have more success in the fashion industry due to soft fur, but I like that Disney knew they would never bring this character back to the big screen in 2020 without making some changes, and kind of, like, they kind of knew a movie where a dog-killing Disney villain would not, as its protagonist, would not be successful among people. No one would really like that idea, so they're glad they changed it. They actually kind of changed it. They don't really make her the dog killer she is in the animated film and the 1996 movie. They really changed her. This hardcore motive no longer belongs to Emma Stone's Cruella's defining character traits, which is technically kind of a no-no for most viewers who are kind of more protective of the original material. But I kind of like that they kind of changed it for a lot of people's sake. And we'll admit that. I also love the extravagant parties that are packed with such Oscar-worthy costumes and beautiful makeup and hair, and ravishing production design too. Nicola Bretell's score really great, carried some great references to the music and other installments as did the film itself. Ray Gillespie didn't hide the Easter eggs spread throughout the runtime, of which some will definitely please the most avid fans. It's as gorgeous as one came to expect from the studio, but not everything was as impressive as they expected above. In the movie where even the black and white hair and clothes of Cruella pop off the screen, the CGI backgrounds and animals were kind of a bit noticeable for the studio. That just made that shot-for-shot remake of The Lion King. You know what that. I also love Joel Fry and Paul Walker as the famous duo of thieves Jasper and Horace. They had this compelling connection to Estella, one that I believe kind of deserved a better conclusion, but liked how they kind of felt like a family instead of like those bumbling morons that get abused by their boss like they are in the animated film in the 1996 one, living and stealing throughout their lives. When Estella starts giving Cruella some screen time, a few issues arise within the trio. These problems were really approached and solved in a less dramatic manner than I was kind of hoping for. Fry's excellent as the more competent, rational Jasper. Bowser never stops being extremely funny. The mentioned balance is kind of rarely affected by the characters' comedic banter, which is something the actors also deserve credit for. So yeah, I love they still made Jasper and Horace their comedic selves, like they're supposed to be betrayed, because those characters, they're probably probably some of the funniest Disney villains ever, or the funniest henchmen, I mean. And I also really loved Emma Thompson. Easily had one of the best performances of her filmography, interpreting the antagonist of the film, Baroness von Hellman. Weird how they made an extremely over-the-top character feel cartoonish yet strangely real. Someone who clearly feels like an exaggeration of a stereotype but still resembles dozens of people from the real world. Well, Thompson takes her role, and the only reason why she doesn't steal a spotlight from everyone else is because Stone kind of rose to the challenge of portraying such a classic film without obvious references to Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada. Thompson was able to be amusing and violent in the same scene, making every second with her on screen feel incredibly captivating. And there's actually a really big twist. I also loved Mark Strong's performance in this film, and I definitely liked this character. There's actually a pretty shocking twist to Emma Thompson's character around the beginning of the movie, it was revealed that around the beginning when Cruella or Estella was born, there was actually kind of a major twist. I'm not going to spoil for those who have not seen the movie yet, but it's a pretty jaw-dropping twist. I gotta say, my jaw was pretty much dropped when I saw the twist with Baroness. Cruella would have to not only be one of 2021's biggest surprises, but easily one of the best movies of the year so far. Despite the occasional lack of balance between its still a comedy and dramatic narrative, Craig Gillespie gave a really captivating original story about one of Disney's classic villains. Dana Fox and Tony McArmy's remarkable screenplay profoundly explores the Estella Cruella transformation, which I love they gave her non-dog-killing, emotionally compelling motivations, and a dramatic, depressing past, and unexpected twist that will probably catch most viewers off guard. No. But of course the bad qualities were, like I mentioned, the distracting CGI on animals, and some noticeable green screen didn't overcome the predictable Oscar-winning stunning costume design, as well as the gorgeous makeup and hair, wonderful production design, and sweet score packed with excellent song choices. There was a really good soundtrack in this film. Too, I really loved a lot of the songs they picked, and it's a character study that makes this one of Disney's best live-action films in the last couple of decades. And Emma Stone delivered an award-worthy display, interpreting two personalities in impressive fashion, stealing the spotlight from the other outstanding interpretations as well. So, yeah. Even though you're not a fan of live-action Disney adaptations, I'd still recommend you give this movie a watch. It doesn't just copy 101 Dalmatians again. It goes like Maleficent. It actually does a different twist on it. It's in theaters. If the theaters are open in your area, you can go check it out. But if the theaters are still closed in your area, stream it any way you can. Heck, even just rent it off Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus. I don't, because I don't need that crap streaming service. I can just find any way to watch Disney Plus's crap for free. If I ever do. If any of their stuff feels good to watch. But yeah, until then, that'll be it for my review of Cruella. And here's how I'm going to rank it.
I am going to give Cruella an 8 out of 10.
And that's it. That's it for my review of Cruella. And speaking of that, today's actually the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. 1 year ago today is when Movie Lover 120 was formed. Okay, technically, originally it was named Gorilla G Roxon, but I found that name kind of too babyish, so I changed it to something that was more suitable for my kind of hobby. And that is movies, or reviewing movies, so I changed it to Movie Lover 120. So yeah. I think one of the few good things to come out of this pandemic is, if there wasn't really a pandemic, I don't think this channel would have really formed. So that's kind of one positive thing. And now into the same day today, the world is starting to slowly come back to normal. Does the world return to normal mean I'm gonna quit YouTube? No. Heck no. That's not going to be for years to come. A lot of years. Maybe I may not be on YouTube as much once the world's really fully normal, but I'll still be on YouTube. I mean, I'm still going to make videos. But anyway, that'll be it for this review. Thank you all for watching. If you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.